Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your January 2018 reading. I'm Jennifer, and thank you for joining me here today. So I have already pulled your cards, and I'm using the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reid. And then I also already pulled a card for you from Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle by Cheryl Yambrak Rose. And then at the end of the reading, we'll pull another oracle card. So let's get into it. Hopefully you can see the cards fairly good here. So the beginning of your reading, you have the Star. And then we have the Five of Water. We have Patience or Temperance, the Four of Water, the Four of Cups. The Page of Water is here at the center of your reading. Next is the Page of Fire or the Page of Wands. Then you have the Chariot, the Sun, and then the Ace of Air or the Ace of Swords. So what I'm seeing here for you is perhaps at some point, whether now or in the recent past or perhaps further back, you felt inspired to move forward with something. You had hope for the future, and perhaps you had some kind of like vision for the way you wanted things to turn out. But maybe you're noticing that all wasn't as it seems, and you might be experiencing a sense of loss or grief in this current period, or it might be coming in for you, or you might know what it is. It may have to do with a relationship or some news that you have recently received. What the cards are advising you to do is to really find moderation in your feelings. It's like two opposing forces here. You have like all this hope and healing, and then like this grief. And sometimes when we healing can actually bring out like more of those things that we were trying to heal. So that could, the Star is also your card, the Water Bearer. It could be that you've been trying to heal something in your life, and you just keep experiencing more sadness about it. Definitely some serious like sadness going on, perhaps from things from the past. But it is important for you to try and keep your balance throughout this, whatever this is that's going on for you, and especially through January. And the more balanced that you stay, it looks like there is something new coming in, something inspired. And it might even be like something that is beyond your control with the Ace of Swords there. But anyway, so the Four of Cups here, it's really talking about sort of like a pause in the action. Whatever it is, this healing or this inspired idea that you had with the Star coming through there. And then the Five of Water. It's really about like pausing to reflect and perhaps dreaming. And also you see the bubbles here in the Four and the Five of Water. It's about letting your emotions come up so that they can be released. Like if you have to cry, cry. Sometimes, the tears can last for months, weeks. And especially if something goes unhealed, that's when we remain in that state of like dejection and sadness. So it is important to try and, remember what it is that your vision was first, what you first had in your vision. And that not everything is going to be, perfect in life. There's going to be things that go wrong. Things are going to turn out the way we didn't want to. And also, I'm sorry, I just want to show you. At the bottom of the deck, you have the King of Water, the King of Cups. Hopefully you can see that. So the overall energy is really about you coming into this sort of emotional stability and taking responsibility and being more of a nurturer, especially in an emotional way, whether it's for yourself or for maybe you have children as well, because the pages can represent someone younger. They can represent your children. Can also represent aspects of yourself or messages coming through or something new coming through in your life. So only you're going to know exactly what that is. If you have children, perhaps you have worries, you're concerned. I'm not really seeing anything like with finances or material wealth coming up for you here. It seems to be more of like an emotional month for you. But you do have the sun in your reading, so whatever this is that was bringing you down, whether it's something now or something in the recent past, you know, maybe you are finding that healing. Maybe this new year will bring a lot of healing for you, or maybe you're experiencing that now. And this card really represents that divine child. It represents childlikeness and open-heartedness and just being playful, you know? And maybe that's where you need to like start putting your dreams, is more into a more playful place. And then the Page of Fire here is talking about something new, something inspired, something that you can put your will into, or perhaps an action that you put into motion after coming into a more balanced place and deepening, you know. And this could also, the Page of Water also can represent a relationship. So maybe this is like, maybe whatever it is that you were upset about, maybe it may or may not be if you are in a relationship, it may or may not be the person that you are with now. It could just be old memories coming up for you. It could just be, you know, dragging the past to that newness. Or maybe you're worried about your children. And what this is saying is like, it's kind of saying, you know, not everything is in your control. Because that's really what the Ace of Air, the Ace of Swords is saying here. It's like not everything is within human control. And it's sort of about karma and like what results from the things that we've created in our lives. And the Chariot with the Sun card is really talking about like positive forward movement. So even though things might not seem like they're going in the direction of those hopes and ideas that you had, just know that a victory is coming. There is going to be some kind of a victory. There's definitely going to be some forward movement toward a more abundant life. And when I say abundance, it's abundance in all its forms. Also, maybe things being illuminated, because with the Sun and the Ace of Air, I mean, that's like an illumination of the truth. You know, maybe there are some things that you need to face. But this inspired action is going to produce some kind of it's going to be some kind of new beginning for you. Whether it's in a relationship, in a romantic relationship, or perhaps a relationship with your family, your children. I mean, the signs are pointing that, you know, to a positive resolution to whatever it is that was bringing you down. But in order to get there, you really do need to find that place of moderation and be patient with it. And, you know, understand that we are only human. You know, and Aquarius, as a humanitarian sign, you should know that better than anybody. I'm just looking here to see what else. And I think here too, like the star with the Page of Cups and the Ace of Swords is like, whatever this hope or this healing or this inspiration that you had, just know that, you know, something new is coming through with it. And you see how, like, behind her, it's like very similar, the sun and the star. So it's like, it's sort of mirroring that, like it is coming through for you. And when it does come, it's going to be quickly. There's going to be something very quick moving. Sort of like a destiny and a fate. Sort of a destiny fate card. And I think too, like, you should really start, or maybe you already are, you know, whatever it is that you're dreaming of, it looks like it's something new, that you're looking to bring something new into your life that's going to create this abundance and make you feel victorious. And I think that it has a lot to do with releasing this grief and this sadness. And, you know, allowing these things to be illuminated within you so that they can come up and you can move past them. You know, there's really no way that we can heal the past, but we can heal the present by understanding, like, whatever it is that, like, you know, if you have children, or perhaps this is you dealing with things from your childhood, knowing that your parents, most of our parents did the best they could. And sometimes some of us end up with parents that are narcissistic, but we also need to not make excuses for them, nor continue to have a relationship with somebody that isn't going to ever reciprocate that kindness and love that you really needed. But to understand that their illness, which it is, it's an illness. Narcissism is an illness. And understand that it came from somewhere. And you may not, you know, you can show that person compassion, but you're never going to get that compassion back. So it's almost like a waste of love when you give to people who are like that. I mean, of course you can say that there's never a waste of love, but compassion doesn't really work on a narcissist. But you can have compassion for yourself and trying to understand, like, how could this happen? How could this be? How could these things, you know, it isn't fair, whatever it is that comes up for you. Whatever this is, whether it's a relationship or somebody who, you know, or even if it's your children, like, understand that they are born with their own personalities, their own ways of being, and you can have hope for their lives, but you also have to allow them to be free, because this is also a card of freedom. You see, this girl is a little mermaid on the ocean there, and she's free, you know, she's sort of like frolicking on the ocean there, and there's some lotuses growing. You know, so this is, it's about representing that freedom and growth and newness. And then in this card we see the moon, and at the bottom here is a little tiger. So this is something like really talks about some kind of a new passion, or perhaps a new creative endeavor that you're taking on. And as long as these things that you are moving toward are for your highest good, and you, in order to know if they're for your highest good, is really to let yourself dive deeply. You understand? Like here, this woman is completely immersed in the water. So you really have to dive deep within your own subconscious mind, within your own emotions, and allow things to come out and to rise up to the surface so that you can release them. Whether you have to scream, you know, maybe you have to just scream it out. Because this can also be like emotions tied in with anger. There could be anger. Sometimes the page of fire could possibly, you know, with the tiger here, I mean, passion can easily be turned to anger. And maybe, you know, instead of bottling that anger up and letting it turn into some kind of rage, or worse than that, being passive-aggressive. Don't be passive-aggressive. Try to heal your own shit so that you're not going around putting little, you know, poking little pins into others, which is only dragging down the energy of everybody. You know, don't be passive-aggressive. Try to just allow yourself to come to terms with the things that have gone on in your life that maybe didn't work out the way you thought, and realize how much your emotional state and your subconscious ties into that. And once you are able to release these things and allow something new into your life, you can have that victory and you can have that abundance. You know, not just money, but also like relationships that are fulfilling. You know, having what you need and having so much of what you need that you share. You know, because this is also a card of like sharing. Once you are at that place of abundance and you really let yourself heal your emotions and understand, like, you know, what's been going on, why are you behaving, and I don't know why this passive aggressive keeps coming up, but try to let that go, Aquarius, this passive aggressiveness, because you are really just bringing down, you could be bringing down the people around you and then wondering, oh, how come I'm not fulfilling these things in my life? Where are these, you know, because you are acting in a passive-aggressive way. And people feel that and they know it when you're doing that. And you need to try to, you know, come to grips with it and sort of heal yourself so that you're not going around poking others with things that are unhealed in your own life. So let's move on to your oracle card from Art Through the Eyes of the Soul. This, you pull Glastonbury Goddess. Accept the opportunity that is offered. Let's put that there. Expanded meaning. Take on a worthy challenge, but pay close attention to details before making a commitment. The great goddess has many aspects. One of these is the challenger. In this painting, she is offering the Grail Cup to the spiritual warrior, inviting him to take up the quest. Let's see if you can see that. He is chomping at the bit with the enthusiasm of youth to begin his adventures. His optimism is infectious and spreads a sense of goodwill and positive energy to those around him. The idealistic goal will shift and change as the warrior progresses towards it. His mission is full of possibilities, but he must first learn self-discipline, to pay attention, and to be observant in strange surroundings. With a sense of boldness, he ventures out into the unknown with the confidence of future success. So, I mean, that definitely ties into your reading. I mean, you do have success here with the victory, the Chariot and the Sun together is definitely a card of like, you are going to be moving forward into a better way of life and a better place. And with the Ace of Air here, there's going to be truth revealed. There's going to be destiny and fate, a fated outcome to this. And perhaps, you know, only you know exactly what this opportunity is and what these challenges are that are being offered to you. But the cards are definitely urging you to get to the bottom of your emotional, because as an air sign, a lot of times we overthink things and we stay in the logical mind and we don't let ourselves cry, or we don't, we try to be like, put on this, way of being that is like, oh, well, I always have my head is always level and straight. Meanwhile, inside, emotionally, you're falling apart and you're sad, and then you're wondering why things aren't coming together, perhaps. So finding moderation, finding the balance between, head and heart, especially with this illumination around. This is about illuminating and enlightenment. The lotus flowers there. So you could be coming into a time of illumination and enlightenment within yourself, and your emotions have a lot to do with it. So don't let the emotions stunt you from a beautiful potential for your future. And, this card does talk about, feeling positive and goodwill. And that's you, Aquarius. You are supposed to be spreading that positivity and goodwill to all. You are the sign of the water bearer. You are this. You are this inspiration. You are that hope, Aquarius. And the world needs you to find that balance, to let yourself feel that childlike freedom. Because we need you, okay? We don't need you when you're feeling grumpy and passive-aggressive because you don't want to really take a look at the way in which you're feeling and what is bringing these things up for you. Okay? So you are that hope for humans. You are humanity's, you're supposed to be like, not supposed to be, but, your sign represents goodwill toward man. Not, playing mind games with people. Because Aquarians, like Geminis, especially the women, the Libra men are worse than the Libra women, but the Gemini women and the Aquarius women, I find, can be definitely play mind games a lot. And you really, you have to understand, why are you playing these mind games? You need to come to terms with your own issues. Don't project your shit onto others and then play little mind games. Okay? That passive aggressiveness really needs to be let go of. You really need to find that. Because what are you offering to the world and the future and the energies that are coming in if you're going to remain in a place of being negative and not seeking the truth within or without? So we're going to pull one more card from the Goddess Oracle to round out this reading. And I do hope that these messages help you. I know that it's not every Aquarius that's out there that's being passive-aggressive, but for some reason that did come out intuitively. And we actually got two 2 cards for you. So this could be about a relationship, for sure. Maybe you are playing mind games with somebody that you're in a relationship with, or something like that. So let's see. Lady of the Beasts. I desire union in ways comfortable and appropriate. I open to the dance with another, knowing that it will take me to all the places I fear, some of the places I love, many of the places that need healing. I listen with the ears of my heart and communicate from a place of self-knowing. I consciously give myself away and know how to take myself back. I see myself reflected so perfectly in the other that I begin my most important journey, to seek out and claim more of who I am. Lady of the Beast walks slowly and serenely into your life to tell you it is time to focus on creating supportive and nurturing relationships with your unborn child, the animals in your life, a lover, family, friends, and/or co-workers. Relating to others to look at the parts of yourself that you don't ordinarily see. Relationships are the mirror in which you can see who you really are. Wholeness is nourished when you see who you really are, accept what you see, and strive to heal what needs to be healed. And that's exactly what I've been talking to you about. This doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. This can be a relationship with your children, with your coworkers, with your friends, with your family, with your parents. Are you in a relationship that presses all your buttons, brings up all your issues, leaves you feeling like a woman on the verge of a nervous breakdown? If both, or a man, or all of you are committed to doing the work, willing to accept your pieces, your responsibility, this could be a goldmine. Perhaps you are in an abusive relationship, one that keeps hurting and hurting with no redeeming factors, or one in which your partner is not looking at issues. This could be the time to gather your strength, lick your wounds, and move on. Perhaps better communication or acceptance could help your relationship. If you are contemplating a relationship, this is the time to open and engage. Lady of Beasts says the dance of relationship is the fast track to evolving consciousness and personal power. It is joyful, painful, frustrating, exhilarating, annihilating, and completely worth it. So this goes along perfectly with what I've just been saying to you, Aquarius. You know, and it may not be you that is being the passive-aggressive one. It could be the people that you're dealing with. I mean, I am speaking to a general, this is a general reading. So it could be some of the Aquarians that are behaving in ways that are detrimental to their relationships, or that you could be an Aquarian that is in a relationship that keeps hurting you. And you need to really release it. You know, this is really a card of also releasing, like, end this bad situation. If you know, not everybody can simply just walk out the door, but you need to either figure out, you know, are the people involved or this person that you are with, if you speak your truth to them, you know, how is that going to affect you? If you are in a physically abusive relationship, I do suggest that you do everything within your power to get yourself out of there. Whether you find a friend to stay with until you're able to save some money and get your own apartment, whatever you need to do, if you're in an abusive relationship, it's time for you to walk away and get your freedom back. Take care of that inner child, because your parents are not, they're not gonna be there you're an adult now. If you're watching this video, you are most likely a grown adult, and it's time for you to nurture and care for that inner child and stop ignoring this emotional grief that you have to face. And you need to face it and come to a place of moderation, of temperance, and be patient with yourself. You know, be patient with yourself. And then you can find that You're going to feel more inspired to do something new, to perhaps move home. You know, this could also be talking about moving. Perhaps you're moving somewhere that will be a really much better place for you. A much better place for you. So, let's read Shakti. Let me just find it. Excuse me. And then I'm going to close this reading out because you're getting a lot of time. More time than the other signs got. Shakti. I am the ultimate source dancing through all forms. I am the animating force, vibrating the world into being. I activate, invigorate, potentiate. Let me fill you with cosmic ecstasy. Let me reconnect you, recharge you, renew you. I am the sweet bliss honey nectar that snakes up your spine, connecting all your chakras into one big orgasmic orgy of power, vitality, energy. Shakti explodes into your life to energize and vitalize you. The way to wholeness for you now lies in yearning to work with Shakti, divine, cosmic, orgasmic goddess energy. Have you been feeling tired? Do life and all its demands exhaust you? Do you keep giving your energy, your vitality, without taking in, recharging, revitalizing? Perhaps there is something you want to manifest, but don't feel you have enough energy to do it. Shakti says there is abundant energy available for you. All you need to do is learn how to connect with it. So, basically, this is talking about, you know, if you really want to connect with this powerful cosmic force energy, you have to get a grip on your emotions. You have to let yourself feel the stuff that you don't like to feel, or look at the stuff that you don't want to look at, whether it's in your personal life or perhaps something in the world that ignites your fire and says this is just whatever it is that is bothering you, whatever it is that you have been feeling like you can't be that Aquarius that you are, that goodwill toward humanity self. You need to release these things so that you can reconnect and find that power that you do have, you know? You do have that power. And once you are able to find that place of balance, that's when things will really start moving for you. So I do hope that you enjoyed your reading, Aquarius. I hope that it brings you some kind of insight, inspiration, healing, or hope for your situation in your life, and that healing, hope, and inspiration, you can bring it forward toward others as well. Okay? So please, if this message has brought you any insight, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and have a wonderful, happy, healthy New Year. Thanks, Aquarius. Bye.